was Rick Barry. The Warriors were the first great team I ever saw. I can remember them well. Al Attles, Clifford Ray, Rick Barry, Mullins, two bench players I'm thinking about. They were the first great team I saw. And so I've always thought of the Warriors as a great NBA organization, even though they've had these long dry spells. Rick Barry would transition today and be an amazing NBA player. He was Larry Bird before Larry Bird. Long, could shoot, tough as nails, played defense, unbelievable passer, and had a few kids make the league as well. And it's my pleasure. Rick Barry is now joining us. 14 years, an MVP in the finals, an 8-time All-Star, a number 2 pick back in the 65 draft. Rick, you know, I love you, and I appreciate you coming on the show. I want to start with this, is that Steph Curry, it's mind-boggling. We almost always acknowledge great players, but there's something weird about Steph. Is he not enough alpha? Is he not big enough, strong enough? NBA players seem to have more respect for the Hardens and the Westbrooks. What is it about Steph that a lot of players don't hold him in this elite category? I don't get it. What is it?
Well, I don't get it either. I mean, what players don't hold him in high esteem? I mean, he's an anomaly. There's never been a player like him in the history of the league to play the game the way that he plays, to shoot the ball the way that he shoots. And, you know, he went through a little tough stage there. He was in a bit of a funk there for the start of that Rockets series for a number of the games, but he certainly rose to the occasion, didn't he? In the second half of game number 6. I mean, what a remarkable performance on his part. And the beauty of him is that he's been so great for the game because the average kid out there and the average person can relate to Steph Curry. He's not some behemoth. He's not some Greek god, some guy with this amazing body and this incredible size that's out there dominating people. He's doing it as an average guy.
Yeah. You know, we were talking about leadership. A lot of people didn't like the fact that he was an MVP and recruited another star. How did that sit with you?
No problem whatsoever with it. I mean, it's all about winning championships. I said, these guys make so much money now. It's not about money. Before, guys were leaving to try to get more money. Well, they can make enough money to go ahead and leave 50 lifetimes. So now it's all about trying to be a champion. And why would you not want to do that? I mean, I said before, years and years ago, I said, I would give up part of my salary to have played with Steve Nash. Guys like that. I mean, just look at 2 of the guys that played with him. What did they do after they left the Phoenix Suns? Stoudemire and
Joe Johnson, maybe?
No, not Joe Johnson. It was, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Sean Marion.
Yeah, you're right.
He made them so much better.
Yeah. You know, it's an interesting dynamic. I've said this for years. I always think self-awareness and IQ is underrated in basketball. And we just say, okay, you got the best players. The Warriors are a very interesting culture, and Draymond's fascinating. So he drives me nuts, and then he shows up in these playoffs. He's such an energy guy. Is it Rodman? Who does he remind you of?
Well, he's another one. I classify guys as anomalies, guys who have play the game differently than anybody's really kind of played it before. Charles Barkley was one for a guy his size and what he did. Shaq for a guy his size and what he did. Magic for his size and what he did. And you throw Draymond into that category. I mean, he does things. He's got such a diversified game. And occasionally he gets hot and he can make his 3-point shots, which he did in one of the important games for the Warriors. But he is the energizer, buddy. I mean, it's important. Like, I remember, I always tell people in our championship year, and you mentioned some of the guys, Jamal Wilkes, who was Keith Wilkes at the time, was another one, and Butch Beard and Charlie Johnson.
Butch Beard, that's
Dudley,
right. Yeah,
Butch Beard and Charlie Dudley and all guys. And then we got Derek Dickey. You know, just great guys. But Clifford Ray was the hub of our team, not me. Clifford Ray. And I think that Draymond Green is that guy for the Warriors.
It is interesting, the Warriors' record when Steph starts and KD doesn't. What am I supposed to make of that? Like, why are they so good without KD?
Well, because they were good before KD. I mean, this is a team, that's why everybody's so panicked. Guys, what are you panicking about? This team can win. This is a team that won championships before KD was there. KD just made them better. You know, and somebody came up and asked me, oh, do you think that they're better without KD? Are you out of mind? I mean, how can you be better without one of the greatest players in the history of the game, an indefensible player who, when he's playing the Warriors style of basketball, the way that they play their best, that team becomes unbeatable when the 3 of those guys are on. And now that he's not there, they only have two of them. Two of them got their game going, and they're still able to win because they won championships before without KD. And what happens to them is that sometimes KD's so good, they got caught up in that Rocket series and got away with it, of relying too much on KD and got away from playing the Warriors basketball that I love to see. Pass, cut, move, get the easy baskets, not just give it to a guy and go one-on-one, because if that guy's not going good, you could be in trouble. And so the Warriors didn't play good basketball at all in the beginning part of the series against the Rockets.
You know, people are saying now that KD's gone. I would have a hard time leaving Steph, Clay, Kerr, the culture. It's smart. It's a new arena. I would have trouble leaving that. When you hear that, yeah, he's gone, what do you make of that?
Well, I'm praying that that's not the case, because I love watching this team play. I love all those guys. I mean, they're all good people. Why would you want to leave? I don't know. I mean, he's the one that has to make the decision, but I'm hoping that he analyzes it and realizes that he has a chance to be part of something so incredibly special. They're already special. He's already done amazing things. He's come and been the MVP 2 years in a row. Who knows what's going to happen here in the finals? He may not get back to even play. I mean, but to want to leave, to go someplace else where you don't know whether or not you're going to have that chance even to win a championship, whereas you have a tremendous chance to win multiple championships staying here and all of the other elements that you just brought to the table. I don't understand why you would want to leave that. But again, KD's his own man, and he can decide to do whatever he wants to do. I'm praying he doesn't, because I want to be able to be a part of this great run that they're on and ride this train.
I want to shift to Zion. Tonight's the lottery. As a sportscaster, I think it'd be more fun to see him in New York than maybe a Memphis or a smaller market. I think it'd be fun. I like when the Knicks are relevant. I like when the Dallas Cowboys are relevant. It's fun, or Michigan football. I think he's going to be really, really good. The NBA lane's wide open now. I think he'll work. Does he remind you of anybody?
Well, he reminds me of LeBron in that he's a man-child. He's a guy that's, again, an anomaly. I've never seen a guy that size with that kind of strength and power and physicality that he can do the things and jump out of the gym. I mean, he does some amazing things. And if he keeps working on his game and refining his game, there's no telling how good he can be. I don't think he has the same natural, incredible feel that LeBron had for the game as far as creating opportunities for his teammates, seeing the floor, which I was so impressed by when I saw LeBron play in high school. But he's going to be a special player. There's no question about it. And again, it seems like a really terrific person with a great personality who will be, I think, very well received regardless of where he goes. But if he went to New York, the league would probably love it. I mean, it'd be unbelievable for the league.
Do you worry that he's 285, ligaments torque his body? Do you, when you went from college to pro, it's a lot of games, Rick. Do you worry about his body too big?
Well, nowadays they have so much sophistication in the training of people, sports specific. They'll get the muscles there to protect the knees and protect all the joints. The thing about it is that big and that strong going up that high, those, took a bad fall or came down another way. Who knows? You just don't know. I mean, skinny guys sometimes get themselves in trouble and do things. I mean, look at what happened to KD. I mean, nobody even touched him and something happened to him. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, you can't even worry about those things. You just go out and play. But he's a fun guy to watch play. It's going to be interesting to see who winds up getting him in the draft. And then the big thing is who do the other teams pick? See, that's the biggest problem, Colin, is that teams make mistakes in their personnel. It's who do you draft? Who do you get in free agency? Who do you trade for? It's all about getting the right personnel who know how to play the game and play it the right way and hope you get a coach that doesn't screw it up.
I think I've asked you this before. I saw Steph Curry play in college. I would have never guessed he would have revolutionized the game, talking about Zion coming in. I think he's an obvious kid that'll work. Was there a moment early with Steph Curry where you were like, whoa, this is, because I didn't see it coming. Did you?
No, I didn't see it coming. I knew that he could be a factor because of his shooting skills and because he shot the heck out of it when he was at Davidson. But to have the overall game that he has and to take his game to a whole new level, but he works at it. He really does. You see, great players are never satisfied with what you do. You spend the offseason not working on the things you do well. You spend the offseason on trying to go ahead and refine the shortcomings that you have in your game and get yourself to be a more well-rounded player. And this is what Steph has done. And he's doing things now that are just absolutely phenomenal. He's one of the most exciting players I've ever seen. I mean, he is worth the price of admission to watch him play. The stuff that he does, he and Clay take shots, three-point shooting, that for most players, they would be terrible shots. But for those guys, they're not because they make such a high percentage of them. And in some of the other shooting, did you see some of the percentages of the shooting in some of the playoffs games lately? I mean, oh my God, they were like it was abysmal. Yeah. It was almost embarrassing. I mean, so those teams going and playing against the Warriors, if the Warriors are on their game, how do you beat the Warriors shooting like they do if they don't shoot a better percentage? If they shoot like that in threes and get to the finals, either of those teams get there and the Warriors are there, they're in big trouble. I mean, I didn't even know how Denver even wound up. I mean, Denver lost because Portland shot 15-something% or some stupid percentage and beat them. I mean, oh my God! I mean, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because this choice of shots. You see, it's possessions. You have to take pride in the possessions that you have and the importance of possessions, and also take quality freaking shots. Some of the shots that these guys take are just horrible. They're not bad for Steph and Clay at times, but most players, they're bad shots.
Tonight, Portland Golden State, Steph Curry against Seth Curry, and it got us talking. Today, in about 10, 15 minutes, we're going to name the greatest sports families of all time. And the Currys against the Berries. Rick, you are a Hall of Famer. You are an all-timer, and your sons play in the NBA. So if I said the Curry family against the Berry family, compare the families here, how would that roll?
We'd win because I'd have 5 kids and they'd have 2.
There you go. They couldn't defend you.
I mean, we could double team guy and have one guy free to get all the rebounds.
Well, you were an all-time great. I always said you're bird before bird, and for people of my generation, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm very happy for you. And a continued success, Rick Barry. Thank you so much.
Hey, please promote my website for the people. TLC24.net. TLC24.net. It's a $2,000 free VIP travel card. You'll be happy you go there. No obligation. Just go and sign up. TLC24.net.
Good stuff. Thank you, Rick.
All righty, take care.
You bet. Yeah, they would. They'd have 5 against 2. It would be hard to win. I mean, you could double team 2 people. It would be very difficult for the Currys. Joey with the news.